What is going on, everybody? In today's video, we are going to go over how making 1% a week using the wheel strategy is not that far-fetched and actually very possible. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it and what stocks I'm using to do it and what my rules are. So with that being said, let's go ahead, jump into the intro.
I know I'm fine, but the money
Okay guys, so the first thing I want to do is, if you guys have watched my past videos, is I did get assigned 100 shares of Nike. I've been talking about Nike for a couple weeks now. I like their new CEO, blah, 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 blah. If you guys want to watch that video, feel free. It's in my channel. It's the last couple of videos I've made. I think that this one is going to do great. I am now in the wheel of it. I got assigned options on it, and now I kept my cash flow, and now I'm going to continue to sell first thing tomorrow morning. I will sell a call on it, and we will start that strategy with it. But that's not why we're here. I'm just like to be very transparent when it comes down to these. How you're able to make 1%. So for instance, if you have $10,000 that you want to do, or you have 1,000, whatever the case may be, for instance, on my smaller account that I have with TD Ameritrade, or one of my smaller accounts, let me say I have very multiple accounts for different reasons, but for instance, the one that I work with my fiance is we basically have a little over 12,000, but we don't use all 12,000. We only use 10,000 of it a week, pretty much. And how we're able to make 1%, so almost $100 every single week. And it kind of sounds crazy because you're like, oh, the market only averages 12%. Warren Buffett only does 20% a year. I'm aware. But the main thing and why you would want to be doing the wheel strategy and why you should be doing it, again, I'm not a financial advisor, none of those things. I manage my own money and that's it. But why we do it is we want the equity. And yes, owning stock is owning equity in a company. And then we also want to cash flow it. So maybe some weeks it isn't quite that 1%. Maybe sometimes I make a 0.5%. I'm not that upset about it, to be 100% honest with you. But I'm getting some appreciation with some of these stocks, and a lot of them we've done a lot of appreciation. So the 3 stocks, and actually the 4 stocks, so Nike's going to become the 4th, so we don't even need to talk about that anymore. But 3 stocks that we have been running covered calls on here over the past year and have done extremely well on. There's a 4th, Palantir, but I actually just sold a bunch of Palantir here on the first, or was it the second of the year? It was the first trading of the day. It was the first trading day. I think it was Thursday. I did sell some Palantir, but I'm moving that to other trades, and those are in other accounts. So the first one is Sofi. Guys, I have multiple hundreds of shares in Sofi. I have done extremely well. Yes, I have been part of the run up. I even have shares in here though, because my strategy in this, and again, I think Sofi over the next 5, 10 years, maybe 20 years, and again, I have a long time. I'm still young, thankfully. I don't feel young, but I am young. That this thing is going to go probably north of $30. So if I'm looking at it at 14.84, I'm expecting this thing to double over the next 5, 10 years. And not only that, I'm also going to get all the cash flow from selling covered calls on it and selling puts in it and the new money that I put into the accounts. So this one is one that we are going to continue. Now, there may be a point where I stop adding to it if it runs up too fast and I don't want to. I will just continue to cash flow those ones that we have already. But the second one is Hood. Guys, I love this stock. As much as I don't use Robinhood, and I even have Robinhood up here and open, I don't really have any money into it, but everybody I know that wants to buy a stock or wants to learn options and things like that is on Robinhood. And to be honest with you, I deal with a lot of people that ask me a lot of questions, and they're all on Robinhood. So I'm very familiar with it. And I'm very familiar now with Robinhood Legend. So this is one that, and the number one thing, guys, is the fundamentals. The number one rule, and this is a key role for anything, is having good fundamentals in the stocks that you are wheel strategizing. This is the number one thing. So they have great, and if we look at their statements, they're doing nothing but going up. This is the thing. Now, again, last quarter was a little bit. I think quarter 4 from 2024 was going to be absolutely amazing. I think we're going to see another spike, possibly up and around that 45 area. So yes, I do have a lot of puts that I have sold on this because I've had my stocks called away from me when I'm selling covered calls, and now I'm selling puts and a lot of them on Hood. I do like this stock a lot. My third one is Bros. So again, why am I picking these stocks and why is this my rule? I'm buying growth companies if you haven't been able to tell. So Sofi, growth. Hood, growth. Bros is a coffee place that not a lot of people have in America. It's growing dramatically though. Here in Houston, my home base now, these things are popping up everywhere over the past 2 years. And now I see them popping up in other places. So that just tells me they're going to continue to grow. And the number one thing I love is their earnings and their financial statements. Guys, this came from private equity, but now look at it. They're not losing money. I mean, very, very little. And we even made money 2023 so far. But if we go to quarterly, look, they're making money here. Their margins aren't great, but that's because they're investing in new locations. And again, if you guys haven't watched the video that I made on this stock, go watch it. I think it's a must-watch one, and you guys will see why. So, but the one thing you're going to be able to do here is, for instance, 41. Let's go in here. And you guys are going to see I have 9 cents. I got a dividend from something that I was holding on accident. But again, this is not one that I trade on. So we're going to go to trade. Hopefully it loads. Trade options. And again, you guys can do this all on Robinhood Legend. This is the interface you're going to see on the phone. So this is what I'm going to do, because this is where most people go. Again, I am selling these puts myself, and I am selling weekly puts on these. And I know for a fact that I sold some 37s here for like $40, I think, a little over a week ago, and they're down to 10 cents now. So I've made 30 cents per one. Guys, that's not a bad return on your money. Because if we go over, let me pull this up, $3,700 times 0.01, which is 1%, is $37. So I'm being able to make 1% in a couple of weeks on my investment. Guys, that is really, really good. I hate to tell you that, because if the S&P is making 12% a year, that's 1% a month on average, and I'm making 1% every week and a half, I'm going to outperform. Guys, it's very, very clear. The numbers don't lie. And again, yeah, when this thing dipped, I'm not going to lie to you, I sold a lot more contracts during this and already bought back out of them. It's been fantastic. And if I could pull this up here, my hood, the one that I think it's the hood that I have right now. Oh, I'm mistaken here. I sold a 36. So now you can see that it's worth 6 cents here. But look at this trade, guys. For a week out, you're risking $4,000 or $3,600. So actually, my return just got better. If we're looking at the math on this, and guys, this is simple math that you guys can all do. Yeah, I mean, see if this will allow me to bring my calculator up here. It sure won't. So we'll minimize this just for all of you. This is pretty simple math. Let's say 3,700 is the worst case scenario, multiplied by 0.01. This is 1%, guys. If you guys don't know how to get this percentage, this is exactly how you get it. $37. That's what I need to make. If I'm only able to sell the put for $35, I'm okay with that, especially in good companies. Again, the golden rule when it comes down to selling options and really running the wheel strategy is running it on good companies, guys. Again, and I know not a lot of you want to learn the financials of these companies. I'm telling you, it will help you sleep better when they dip. And when they dip, you will look at it as, I'm buying. This is my opportunity. I know that's how I feel. When I see giant red days on SPY, I'm going to look at my key stocks over in here. I'm going to look at Nike. Under Armour is not a key stock. I was comparing it to Nike. But Coca-Cola, Southern Company. You guys know I own a lot of PTY. But these good companies that I want to invest into, Generac is actually one of them that's on the bottom that I've been looking at buying up shares of. Guys, these are the companies that as soon as it goes red, there's blood in the water, however you want to say it, it's when you pick up the shares, guys. It is by far the easiest money you can make in life if you are willing to buy, hold, and continue to cash flow. Again, why it's called the wheel strategy, guys. These are my rules. They're very, very simple. I never sell at the money. I always sell a little bit to be able to make a little bit more money. But you guys see I'm selling pretty far out on these options. 36 is, well, 36 would have been up here, so now it would have been like a 38. That was a 12 delta. That was a 12% probability of me winning a week ago. And I won. And this week, I'm probably going to sell a 39. If it stays around there, if not, maybe a 39 and a half, 40. I don't really want to do the 40 yet. I'm probably looking at that 39 range, maybe even a 38. I'll take a little bit less money for that security just in case there's a mean reversion. Thank you guys all for watching this video. I hope somebody gets something out of this, and I'm always here if you have questions. Comment below. My email is below. Feel free to email me. I'll always answer. Thank you guys.